Around 7:15 in the morning, I had with my first cup of plain coffee 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that I made. I recall sleeping today until about around 6 in the morning. Falling asleep waking up and then falling back asleep a couple times. During the first hours of today. I worked at Wegmans today. From 9:30 in the morning to 2 p.m. My mom took me to work today and gave me a lunch in a plastic bag. One of those old plastic shopping bags with a lunch in it that consisted of these prepared sets of sushi, by Wegmans, only it was different sushi. My mom got it from a different Wegmans. And she also got for me a small bottle of Fiji apple juice. And there was also a 1 liter bottle of alkaline water. But I didn't have that during the 15-minute break I took. To have that sushi. I had the sushi and the juice, but not that bottle of water. Since I felt having the sushi, the juice, and the water would be too much. So I just had the sushi and the juice. I took that 15-minute break around 1:30 p.m. Though it ended up going a bit long. Due to there being Belgian waffles. That were provided as part of a special event. I had one essentially at the very start of my shift. That was the chocolate chip one. And I had the later blueberry waffle. Towards the very end of my shift. Throughout my shift, I restocked some bags of potatoes, various potatoes. And some onions, particularly bagged yellow onions. I restocked from the mushroom runner. Right before I took my 15-minute break. And this was after restocking from the carrot runner from the produce holding area. Around 1 in the morning to noon. From what I recall. I made some conversation with two different coworkers separately while working. It all seemed to be pretty interesting. Thankfully, I didn't cough up phlegm during my shift. Though I do recall coughing up some phlegm both before my shift and after my shift. Before my shift, when I was having coffee and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at my dad's place, and after, after my mom picked me up around 2 p.m., she drove me to our local Wegmans, where I stopped to get some groceries, of which I got this combo of sushi, but not this milk, nor this. Mom got this during an earlier trip to Wegmans. I got some sushi, a few pre-made salads, and some kombucha by the GT's brand. I used 2 of the reusable Wegmans canvas bags my mom had saved. Brought the groceries in and put them away, since there weren't that many. Today was a cool, overcast day. It didn't rain or snow, and there wasn't any snow on the ground. Which seems a bit unusual to me. It's almost winter, and the area where I'm at, typically there tends to be some heavy snowfall during the winter time. Not long after I had the first waffle, a female coworker came up to me while I was in the produce holding area and offered me a slice of coffee cake that was on a sort of napkin. And I accepted. It was pretty good. Partially due to concerns that it would otherwise be wasted. And I think partially because it was offered to me. I squeezed in a bit of work on the Satchel Sort polystyrene ball drawing project, though I only managed to do one dotted circle. Before I felt I needed to start getting ready to go to work at Wegmans. On both waffles I recall putting on every single condiment that was offered for that event, except for butter, since that has to be spread on. Whereas something like maple syrup just has to be poured on. For some reason with the first waffle, I had the sugar-free maple syrup and then decided to put regular maple syrup on the second one that I had hours later. Maybe because of a sense that they were more, one or the other was more available than the other, even though in reality they were both equally available both times. And didn't run out. I recall getting the last of the whipped cream when I got my second waffle. At one point during my shift, during one of the couple of brief times I restocked the banana section because I felt I wasn't assigned the banana section today, I came across a bunch of bananas that had one rotten banana that was otherwise perfectly fine. Encountering rotten bananas like this always squicks me out. So I made a sound, but I gathered up my courage and ripped the rotten banana off the rest of the bunch, and went into the produce holding area to pull that banana, and threw it away right away at the suggestion of a different coworker from the two that I made conversation with today. At this point, I can recognize some of my coworkers and their names.